Hi everyone, welcome to Aurora Essence Healing. I'm Heather Gravlin, your host, and today I'm going to be sharing my third episode and story about when I was in middle school to like intermediate, elementary, like I want to say probably 4th, 5th, 6th grade is where I would like to go with this story. So I went to a memorial school in Killingly, and we at that time still lived in Dayville, I think, and I moved about 40 times as a kid, so it's a lot of back and forth between different places, but we also lived like in another apartment complex next to like a now local park. But at this time, I really have had so many experiences of pop-ins, you know, with the previous stories with the woman, and then with a lot of Native American energies, and then my grandfather. So now I'm seeing like a pattern, right? And at school, I'm very, at this time, I don't have like a lot of friends, I want to say. In the classroom, I had a lot of friends, and on the playground, but at any other time, I was really trying to be like, I was for some reason very like intellectual based thinker, and I wanted to read a lot. And even though I am, you know, I consider myself to have dyslexia that was never diagnosed as a kid, I really somehow learned to read very fast as a child, and very quickly. So quick that I would actually be like the teacher's helper all the time, and I loved to help other peers read in class. So any free time we had or during library, I would go to the library and I would sit in between the rows of books, and I would take out any book that I could possibly find on religion, paranormal, you know, witches, Celtic, anything. Like I was, you know, going all different areas of all around the world, cultures. I wanted to learn about all of these things because, you know, I was having these experiences that I was very interested in it. It was like, okay, I have to learn everything that I can find. So at that time, it was very interesting because I would always be reading these books, or I'd be in the library, and teachers started getting concerned, and they would have my mom and my dad come in for meetings and call them and things, and they'd say, you know, we're really worried about your daughter. The things that she's reading is, you know, alarming to us. Things that she writes about during her writing time is alarming, and we think she needs a psychological evaluation. So I'm very grateful that my parents didn't do that. They did not really know what was going on, but they were just like, okay, these are just things she likes to read. It's fine. I was not like hallucinating. I wasn't seeing like things like with my eyes there. So I didn't have any like outward behaviors or anything. Nothing else provoked the need for a psychological evaluation besides they just didn't like that I wrote like about paranormal experiences. So during that time, we also, you know, would go out for a recess, and I would always go to the edge of the recess yard, which was like fenced off, like with a chain link fence, and it abutted to a like a town park. And I would go and I'd lay next to the fence, and, you know, my friends would come over, kids would come over, and they'd be like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, oh, well, I'm feeling the energy here of the land and of the trees and of the Native Americans. And then I guess I, you know, didn't know, but other kids joined me, and they were like, oh, this is cool. Let's talk about ghost stories. Let's, you know, feel the energy here. So we would all like lay in a circle and like laying flat with our hands on the ground, and we would feel the energy, and I didn't know if anyone else was experiencing. I didn't think about it like that other people weren't experiencing this. This is just normal to me, right? So I was just like, oh, okay, cool. You guys want to join me? Go for it. Let's, do this. So we actually, I guess, started our own paranormal group between, I want to say 6 and 8 years old, not meaning to do that. But yeah, that's what, we decided to do every recess. Instead of playing like sports and dodgeball and kickball, I wanted to feel the energy of the earth and nature and, all these, I guess, pop in spirits and energies that I could feel. So that was, a very interesting memory. This is something that I did every day. And now as an adult, when I go back to that park, the land knows my energy and the spirits still know my energy. It's very interesting to now be an adult and go visit places like this and have the knowing of that. That has taken a very long process for me of growth to understand actually how my mind works and how my body works energetically. So that is the wrap up for my third story. Thank you for tuning in today. I will be doing my fourth story shortly. Please stay around and watch it. Leave a comment. If you've ever experienced these sort of things, also let me know. All right, thanks. Have a good day. Bye.